Now moving further into our tutorial, what we are gonna do now, I listed down some CLI commands for you that you can use this command to develop your bot. These were some 6 commands that we oftenly use while developing the bot. First one is your rasa init command. What this command does, it sets up a complete assistant for you with some example training data, so you can use this training data for developing your chatbot. It asks some question to the user that please enter a path where the project will be created. I'm pressing enter to it for giving this current directory path. It will say, do you want to train your initial model? I say yes. It's choose automatically some initial configuration that is provided by rasa. Now it asks you that do you want to speak to the train assistant on the command line. I will press no because we will doing it later. Okay, so that's all. It creates a directory structure like this. You have your actions directory, you have one more directory which is your data directory, you have your models directory, and one is your test directory. Let's check it out each directory one by one. In actions directory, you have actions.py file. This directory is responsible for generating the dynamic messages. We will talk about it in later videos. That's all for now. In your data directory, it has two YML files which you can use to specify data in it. In nlu.yml, you will have to specify all the messages that user going to type in examples, and you specify a particular intent to it. In storage.yml, you will specify a conversation flow, how the user is going to interact with your bot. Let's say this intent is greet intent, which means that if users say hi, then this text is classified into a greet intent, and what action is going to take, the action is utter greet. So when you go into domain.yml, then you find the utter greet response, then your bot will generate this output. So in storage.yml, you are going to give a conversation flow, that how your user feeding your data and what kind of responses that your bot will make. In models, you will, so whenever you train your model, then all this model will come into this default directory. In test directory, you have test underscore storage.yml file. In this file, you specify a data in it, for which you can use this file to generate some useful analytics to show how your model is working on this training dataset. Okay, now moving into config.yml file. I told before that rasa is a consumption of rasa NLU and rasa core. In this file, you specify your pipeline. So what are the basic pipeline that your model is going to use, and some policies. I will covering these policies and pipeline in my later videos, so hold on till that. We don't use any credentials.yml. It will specify a endpoint to the your bot. In domain.yml, you will specify all kind of responses that your bot is going to make. Your intents are listed down here. And in endpoints.yml, you have your action server endpoint, because you are specify your action server while by the command rasa run action. So this will run a action server to you on this endpoint. Now let's move to our next CLI command, which is rasa train. The rasa train command is used to train your rasa model. So it's printing the output is that nothing changed. You can use the old model stored at this location. This means that you can train your rasa model when you should append some training data into your nlu.yml file or storage.yml file. By default, rasa train will store all your model into models folder. These models name would be in the form of timestamp, and if you want to specify your own model name, then you can use fixed model name flag. If you want to show this flag, that you can simply write rasa train dash dash help. It will give all type of command that you can use with rasa train. If you want to specify some other directory other than model, then you can use this flag. If you want to give you another name of your model, then you can say rasa train and use this flag fix model name, and you can give whatever name you want to give. Like I will give new model. So it's make a model with the name of new model. Jump into our next command, your rasa interactive.